Hello everyone. This is the second part of the topic Lagrange method. In this lecture, we will discuss some problems regarding Lagrange method. Let us discuss a problem. Solve the PDE minus y ux plus x uy equals 0 by using Lagrange method. Okay. So here we have a equal to minus y, b equal to x and c equal to 0. So the characteristic equations are given by dx by dt equal to minus y, dy by dt is equal to b, that is x, and du by dt is equal to 0. Now here the vector defining the characteristic equations is given by that is the vector defining the characteristic equations is given by P is equal to the vector A, B, C. A means minus y, B equal to x, and C equal to 0. So this is nothing but minus y, x, 0. So this is the vector defining the characteristic equations. So to solve this PDE by Lagrange method, first of all we need to take two independent vector fields P1 and P2, so that P1 and P2 are orthogonal to P. So take two independent vector fields P1 and P2 uh, that are orthogonal to P. Orthogonal to P. Okay. So we can take such two vectors P1 and P2 like this. P1 is equal to some, we need to get this P1 and P2 orthogonal to P. So we can take P1 as some x, y, 0, since P1 is P1 dot P is equal to x, P1 is x, y, 0 dot P is minus y, x, 0. So this is nothing but x into minus y is minus x plus x into y, this is xy, plus 0 into 0 is 0. So the dot product is 0. So P1 dot P equals 0 implies P1 is orthogonal to P. So also we can take P2 as P2 equals 0, 0, 1. Okay. This also we can verify that P2 dot P is equal to 0. So we have P2 is also orthogonal to P. So we have taken P1 and P2 which are orthogonal to P. Also these are independent vector fields because they are not tangential. Okay. Simply we can say that here P1 dot P2 equal to 0 because x into 0 plus y into 0 plus 0 into 1 equal to 0. So P1 and P2 are orthogonal, so they are not tangential, so they are independent. So we have taken two independent vector fields P1 and P2 such that they are orthogonal to P. Okay. Now we need one more assumption that these two vector fields are exact. Okay. So we need to verify that P1 and P2 are exact. Okay. So we need to verify it. So just clearly we can verify that del cross P1 is equal to 0. So and del cross P2 equal to 0. We can just verify the curl of P1 and P2 are zeros. So P1 and P2 are zeros. You just verify this. Okay. So P1 and P2 are exact. So our assumptions are okay because we have taken two independent vectors P1 and P2 which are orthogonal to P, and they are also exact. So since P1 and P2 are exact, we can obtain two potentials psi and phi such that uh, del psi is equal to some P1 and del phi is equal to P2. Okay. That is psi is the potential corresponding to P1 and phi is the potential corresponding to P2. So our aim is to find such psi and phi. We need to find this psi and phi. So we can obtain psi by using this equation and phi by using this equation. So psi del psi equal to P1 implies we have, from this we have del psi is nothing but dou psi by dou x, dou psi by dou y, dou psi by dou u equal to P1, or P1 is x, y, 0, because psi is a function of x, y and u, and also phi is a function of x and x, y and u. So from this we get three equations, dou psi by dou x equal to x, dou psi by dou y equal to y, and dou psi by dou u equal to 0. So we need to find psi of x, y, u satisfying these three conditions. So from the third equation, for from the third equation we can write here, so dou psi by dou u equals 0. So from this we have dou psi by dou u equal to 0 implies, so psi is a constant. So psi is a constant means, uh, actually we this is partial derivative of u with respect to, partial derivative of psi with respect to u is 0. So psi is a constant, so it is independent of u. That means psi may be a function of x and y. Okay, because uh, so partial derivative of psi is a function of x, y and u. So the partial derivative of psi with respect to u is 0. So psi may be a constant, or it's a function of x and y. Okay, so now this is our psi. So number it as 4. Now we need to find what is f of xy. Okay. Now applying this first equation, we have one we have dou psi by dou x equal to x. So dou psi by dou x equal to x means dou psi by dou x is, because psi equal to this. So dou psi by dou x is dou f by dou x, which is equal to x. Okay. So from this we have uh, dou f by dou y equal to dou f by dou x equal to x. So from this we have integrating with respect to x, we have f is equal to, or f of x comma y is equal to x square by 2 plus a constant of integration. A constant of integration may be a function of y, because here the derivative of we are integrating with respect to x. So the constant of integration may be a function of y. So now our f equal to x square by 2 plus g of y. So this can be replaced here to get our psi. So from equation number 4 we get psi of x y u is equal to f of x y. It can be written as x square by 2 plus a function of y. Now one more equation we have to use, it is second equation. So applying the second equation, we have from second equation dou psi by dou y equal to y implies. So this is psi now. So dou psi by dou y means derivative of this with respect to y, that is 0 plus g is a function of y only. So it is g dash of y equal to y. Okay, so from this we get integrating with respect to y, we have g of y equal to y square by 2. Okay, so replacing this g of y here, we get number it as 5. So 5 implies we have uh, psi of x y u is nothing but x square by 2 plus y square by 2. So this is equal to 1 by 2 into x square plus y square. So this will be our psi, the function psi. Okay. Now in a similar way we can find our the function phi by using this equation, del phi equal to p2. So by using that, similarly del phi equal to p2 implies del phi is nothing but dou phi by dou x, dou phi by dou y, dou phi by dou u equal to the vector p2 was what was that, 0 0 1, right? 0 0 1. So we can write like this, 0 0 1. So from this also we'll get three equations. So from this we get dou phi by dou x equal to 0, dou phi by dou y equal to 0, dou phi by dou u equal to 1. So by using the first equation, dou phi by dou y, dou phi by dou x equals 0 implies, okay, dou phi by dou x equals 0 implies phi is independent of x. So phi equal to a function of some h of y comma u, because phi is independent of x, because the derivative with respect to x is 0, so phi will be a function of y comma u. Okay, now number test 6. So now this is our phi. Now we have to apply these two equations. So applying second equation is dou phi by dou y equal to 0, which implies dou phi by dou y is nothing but dou h by dou y, which is equal to 0. So from this we get, integrating this with respect to y, we get h of y comma u is nothing but 0 plus a constant of integration. It will be a function of u. Okay, uh, some k of u, because the derivative of h with respect to y is 0. Actually h is a function of y and u, and derivative with respect to y is 0. That means h is independent of y, so h will be a function of u. So we can replace this h here. So equation number 6 can be written as phi of x y u is nothing but h of y u, that is k of u. Now we have to apply, so this is our function now phi. Now we have to apply the third equation, that is dou phi by dou u is equal to 1, which implies we can write dou phi by dou u. From this we get k is a function of u only, so dou phi by dou u means k dash of u equal to 1. So from this we can find k of u by integrating with respect to u. So this is equal to u. Okay, integrating this with respect to u, so we get k of u equal to u. So we can replace k of u by here. So we'll get the function phi as 7 implies phi of x y u equal to k of u, which is u. Okay, so we got two functions. One is psi. Psi is nothing but psi of x y u equal to 1 by 2 into x square plus y square, and uh, phi is nothing but phi of x y u equal to u. So we can write the solution as, so therefore solution of the given PDE is f of psi comma phi equal to 0. That is f of psi is nothing but 1 by 2 into x square plus y square comma u equal to 0. Or simply we can write this f of x square plus y square comma u equal to 0. Okay, so we can ignore the constant. So this will be the solution. Okay, or the solution can be written as u equal to another function of x square plus y square. This is also the format of solution, because it's actually f of psi psi comma phi equal to 0 implies this can be written as some psi equal to a function of phi, or this can be written as phi equal to another function of psi. Okay, for example, suppose we have f of psi comma phi equals 0, which is psi square plus phi equals 0, then we can write phi equal to minus psi square. So this is phi is a function of psi. Okay, that is a function of psi. So we can write the solution either in this form or in this form. Okay, now we can consider another question. Solve minus y ux plus x uy equals 0 along with the initial condition y u of x0 equal to sin x, where x greater than 0. So here the PD is same, but we introduce introduced an initial condition. Okay, so we have in this last problem we have solved this PDE. So we have the solution of this PDE is u equal to g of x square plus y square. Okay, we solved this PDE. So now we have to apply this initial condition for this PDE or this solution. Okay, so the initial condition is u of x comma 0 equal to sin x. So if we take the initial variable as x, x equal to s, then we have the initial variable y naught is 0 and u naught is equal to sin s. Okay, so just applying this initial conditions here in equation number 1, so one can be written as u naught is equal to g of x naught square plus y naught square. This is nothing but u naught is sin s is equal to g of x naught square is s square plus 0 square. So from this we have g of s square is equal to sin of s. So from this we can write g of s is equal to sin of square root of s. Okay, so we actually g is the arbitrary function here. We need to eliminate by applying this initial condition. So from the these are our solutions without initial conditions. So here f is the arbitrary differentiable functions and g is also the arbitrary differentiable function in this case. So when we apply these initial conditions, we have to eliminate these arbitrary functions. So in this case, we have to eliminate small g. Okay. So here, this is our solution u equal to g of x square plus y square. So by applying these conditions, we obtain that g of s equal to sine square root of s. So we can replace our this g in equation number 1 by using this equation, this curve or this function. So from 1 implies the solution is given by the required solution is given by uh, u equal to u of x comma y is nothing but g of square root of g of x square plus y square, that is g of x square plus y square, but we know that g of s equal to sine of square root of s, so we can write g of x square plus y square. Here the variable is x square plus y square, so we have that is sine of square root of x square plus y square. So our solution will be required in solution of the Cauchy problem is u of xy is nothing but sine of square root of x square plus y square. Okay. Now Lagrange method has an advantage over characteristic method, which is the Lagrange method. By using Lagrange method, we will get a general solution to the PDE, which will be valid for all the initial conditions. Okay, that means by using the Lagrange method, we can find the general solution of the given PDE. But in the case of characteristic equation, characteristic method, we can find the general solution only by using the initial conditions. Okay, so but here we can directly find the general solution. Then we can apply the initial conditions. Okay, in the case of Lagrange method, but it has some disadvantages. The Lagrange method has some disadvantages. The first one is we know the solution is f of psi comma phi equals 0, but this in the case of Lagrange method, the functions psi and phi can be only found under special circumstances, because we have some assumptions for taking we need to take some assumptions for p1 and p2 etc. So we have the psi and phi can be found under some special circumstances. Many tricks for this purpose have been developed since Lagrange's days, but only a limited number of equations can be solved in this way. Okay, by using Lagrange method, only a limited number of equations can be solved. Okay, so the second disadvantages is from the Lagrange method, it is difficult to deduce any potential problems arising from the interaction between the equation and the initial data. That is, We cannot simply find we cannot simply deduce any potential problems arising from the interaction between the equation and the initial data. Okay. The third is the Lagrange method is limited to Quasilinear equations. Uh, its generalization to arbitrary nonlinearities is very difficult. That means we cannot simply generalize this Lagrange method to nonlinear equations. It is limited to Quasilinear equation. So thereby linear and semi-linear. But we cannot generalize the Lagrange method to nonlinear PDEs. Okay, it will be more difficult to generalize the Lagrange equation or Lagrange method for nonlinear PDEs. But on the other hand, the characteristic method can be naturally extended to a method that is applicable to general nonlinear PDEs. That means the characteristics method can be extended to nonlinear PDEs also. Now it will be discussed later. Okay, but the Lagrange method is not at all good to extend to nonlinear PDEs. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of uh, Lagrange method over characteristic method.